One of the most compelling undercurrents has always been the shifting loyalties within the Seljuk and Byzantine borderlands, and more specifically, among the Turkish beys. With Osman Bey's relentless drive for a unified state, he consistently challenges the established order, forcing other beys into difficult positions. Could we be about to witness a significant realignment of power among these beys? Perhaps a long-standing ally, feeling overshadowed or disagreeing with Osman's increasingly bold strategies, begins to subtly drift away. Think about the pressure some of these figures are under, pressure from their own tribes who might be wary of constant warfare, or perhaps whispers from Constantinople or even remnants of the Mongol influence promising power and autonomy. Might we see a character who has, until now, been a steadfast supporter begin to show signs of wavering, not out of outright malice, but due to a genuine conflict of interest or a differing vision for the future? What are your theories on which bey might be most susceptible to such a shift? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Then there's the ever-present Byzantine threat, which is far from a monolithic entity. We've seen internal power struggles within Constantinople, and these divisions often create opportunities, or grave dangers, for Osman. Could the fallout from a recent Byzantine military operation, or perhaps a change in leadership or strategy within their ranks, lead to a new kind of threat? Maybe a new, more cunning commander is sent to the frontier, one who prefers psychological warfare and espionage over direct confrontation. This could manifest in attempts to sow discord within Osman's own camp or among his allies. Imagine if a seemingly minor character, perhaps a merchant or a new arrival in the Kei camp, is revealed to be a deep-cover agent. What kind of subtle clues might the writers be dropping that we, the audience, have overlooked? Are there any recent arrivals or characters who have been acting slightly out of character? Let's also consider the internal dynamics of the Kei tribe itself. While loyalty to Osman is a cornerstone, the burdens of leadership and the sacrifices demanded can strain even the strongest bonds. Are there unresolved grievances or unspoken anxieties among Osman's closest companions? Perhaps a decision made by Osman in the heat of the moment, one that led to unforeseen consequences, is still weighing heavily on someone. This doesn't necessarily mean an outright challenge to his authority, but it could translate into hesitation at a critical juncture or a difference of opinion that comes to a head when a new crisis emerges. Could we see a trusted figure like Baran Alp or Konar Alp grapple with orders that test their conscience or their understanding of the greater good? The strength of Osman's leadership often lies in his ability to inspire unwavering loyalty, but true leadership is also tested by how it navigates internal dissent and doubt. The role of the women in Kuruluş Osman continues to be a powerful force, often shaping events from behind the scenes or, increasingly, on the front lines. Bala Hatun, Malhun Hatun, and other leading female characters are not just passive observers. They are strategists, advisors, and warriors in their own right. As the stakes get higher, could we see one of them take on an even more prominent role in intelligence gathering or in forging alliances that the men cannot? Perhaps a new threat targets the families or the economic stability of the tribe, forcing the Hatans to deploy their unique skills and networks. Think about the intelligence that flows through the markets, the information shared in seemingly innocuous conversations. Might a seemingly domestic concern suddenly reveal itself to be linked to a larger conspiracy, with one of the Hatans being the first to uncover the connection? What are your expectations for the roles of Bala and Malhun in the face of new challenges? Do you foresee them working more closely together, or could their different approaches lead to some tension? Another fascinating area to explore is the spiritual and ideological underpinnings of Osman's struggle. The guidance of figures like Shiki Bali has been crucial, but as Osman's enterprise grows, so too do the complexities of justifying his actions and maintaining the moral high ground, especially when faced with ruthless enemies. Could the upcoming episodes introduce a new spiritual or intellectual challenge? Perhaps a scholar or a dervish arrives with a different interpretation of their cause, or maybe an enemy attempts to use ideology to undermine Osman's support among the populace. This could lead to some profound discussions and internal debates about the nature of justice, the responsibilities of power, and the true meaning of their sacred mission. How might Osman navigate such a challenge to the very ethos of his movement? Let's not forget the lingering shadows of past enemies. Even when a major antagonist is defeated, their network, their followers, or their desire for revenge can often resurface in unexpected ways. Could we see the remnants of a vanquished foe attempting to regroup or strike back, perhaps exploiting a moment when Osman is focused on a new threat? This could be a powerful reminder that the past is never truly buried and that old scores often demand to be settled. Think about any seemingly loose ends from previous seasons or arcs. Are there characters whose fates were left ambiguous, or whose thirst for vengeance might still be unquenched? The reemergence of such a threat could test Osman's vigilance and the loyalty of those around him, forcing them to confront ghosts they thought long gone. What do you think? Which past enemy's return would create the most compelling drama for the upcoming episodes? We'd love to hear your theories in the comments. Furthermore, the development of Orhan, Aladdin, and even Fatma Hatton as the next generation is a slow burn, but an important one. While they may not be at the forefront of every battle, their education, their observations, and their own burgeoning ambitions are subtly shaping them. Could episode 192 offer a glimpse into a challenge or a responsibility that falls upon one of the younger members of Osman's family, foreshadowing their future roles? Perhaps Orhan is given a taste of command, or Aladdin's scholarly pursuits uncover a vital piece of information. These moments, even if small, are crucial building blocks. It's always interesting to see how their understanding of the world and their father's mission evolves. Will we see one of them step up in an unexpected way, proving their mettle sooner than anticipated? The economic and logistical aspects of maintaining and expanding Osman's Beylik are also ripe for creating drama. Securing trade routes, ensuring resources for the army, and managing the welfare of a growing population are constant pressures. Could a new antagonist attempt to cripple Osman economically? This might involve disrupting trade, inciting unrest among merchants, or even attempting to counterfeit currency. Such a plotline would highlight a different kind of warfare, one fought not just with swords but with cunning and economic sabotage. It would also allow for characters who are not typically warriors to play a crucial role in uncovering and foiling such plots. Finally, let's consider the possibility of unexpected alliances born out of shared threats. History is replete with examples of erstwhile enemies putting aside their differences to face a common, greater danger. Could Osman find himself in a situation where he must reluctantly cooperate with a rival bey or even a Byzantine faction to counter a more formidable foe? Perhaps a new wave of Mongol aggression or a particularly dangerous independent commander. Such a development would be fraught with tension and mistrust, but could also lead to fascinating character interactions and a reevaluation of who is truly an enemy and who could, under the right circumstances, be a temporary, uneasy ally. The dynamics of such a fragile alliance, the constant suspicion, and the potential for betrayal at any moment would surely keep us on the edge of our seats. What kind of common enemy do you think could be powerful enough to force such an unlikely alliance? As we look towards episode 192, these are just some of the potential undercurrents and hidden connections that could surface. The beauty of Kuruluş Osman lies in its complex tapestry of characters and motivations, where every action can have far-reaching consequences. The narrative is always evolving, and the seeds planted in earlier episodes often bloom in surprising and dramatic ways. The true test will be how these threads intertwine and what new challenges they pose for Osman Bey and his unwavering vision. The stage is set for more intrigue, more conflict, and undoubtedly, more heroism. Okay, let's delve into the swirling currents of what awaits us in Kuruluş Osman. As we stand on the cusp of episode 192, the embers of Osman Bey's conquest fire, ignited in episode 191, are undoubtedly set to blaze into a significant conflagration. But what hidden connections, what subtle shifts in the grand game of power, might we anticipate without treading into the territory of outright spoilers? The stage is set, the pieces are in motion, and the echoes of past events are reverberating, hinting at momentous turns.